So, um, I was like, everybody done talked about it, or maybe in some form of fashion. Uh, I didn't. I was like, I thought about doing it at the time I seen it, but I was like, I'm gonna wait. Maybe also see what other people say and how the internet was taking it. Um, and what I'm talking about is the J. Cole apology. Uh, WrestleMania was going on, and I was like, I mean, well, it just ended, but I was like, I was still watching like the press scrums and all that other stuff. So I was like, I'll check it out later. And cause I only seen the clip online, so seeing the whole video of it, I don't know. It's a lot of different. It's a lot of different. And also too, I gotta say that I had to wait from how I felt at the beginning to now, um, and then seeing how everybody else has reacted to it. I'm gonna say at the beginning, I was like, I was just like, man, what the fuck did we do this for? Like, I'm like I was really just kind of like, I can't. I don't even feel like dealing with this because to be honest, J. Cole been one of my favorite rappers for a long time. Like it's one of them weird things where it's like if you asked me for like early on, I probably would say I like Kendrick, from before he was doing Good Kid, Mad City, before Section 80. But like when he did like the freestyle, where he like I'm the best rapper alive, I'm the best rapper alive. I was like all that stuff because I was like I remember like I was being on like that Piff and I'm not that Piff. Two Dope Boys and stuff like that, and him coming out of nowhere because I was like he just like showed up on the scene, and I remember like me and my roommate checking him out before anybody else knew who he was. That like that's sort of the crazy thing, and I was like, I mean, like really, like nobody else knew who he was, and he was doing all these things. But we also used to do like look up new artists and low ranked stuff to like this like stuff that wasn't playing just to see who could get on before anybody else did because we just kind of nerdy that way. But so, but I always thought Cole was dope from who that, you know, to where to where I'm like, man, like I thought Kendrick was the like rapper. Like I mean like like come like I thought he was good there. Where like I thought Cole was really good at rapping into a song while like Drake is really good at making a song. I think they got different crafts in a way, but they all can do something of the same similar. For instance, like like when we hear each of their albums, like they all make good albums. Um, but I do think that Kendrick was able to get ahead early, and then J. Cole, like how he said, sort of I was able to gain steam through more projects. Kendrick's not really he not dropping them because I like Kendrick used to drop stuff quite a bit early on, and then like how most rapper when you sort of reach that top level, you sort of take breaks. You sort of stall. You not stall out because I was like that sounds like you almost dropped, like you like dropped off. But I was like you sort of just slow down. Where it's like guess what? Other people who ain't reached that like Cole and stuff, it should be like okay, cool. Well, I gotta produce music until I get to that stage, that level. Um, going to say that I'm like. I want to say probably after Good Kid, Mad City, I was like Cole probably been my favorite rapper since then. I'm not gonna lie, like what he said that about the Pimp Butterfly, I kind of was like, I get where he's coming from. Like I was like, it's not a bad album, but I mean also, but I'm like, to me, it's not Good Kid, Mad City. It wasn't that, so I didn't feel the same thing. And a lot of the stuff that I heard of the song CD, I mean the song and stuff like that off the album, they got a lot of movie shows replay value, which I think is important just as much as like replay value in general. Cause somebody I was like something like you gotta have you gotta want to like oh I want to listen to that again. I want to listen to that again. But like stuff like Pimp the Butterfly, I was like I heard that mainly on shows a lot or something like that because I'm like a lot of that stuff is like like a black national anthem type stuff where it's just like you like these songs are meant to go with the revolution of what you trying to do. That's sort of what I mean by that. Anyway, this is a long-winded way of saying that, hey, and Drake has to be in sort of a separate category. Not that I'm saying that he shouldn't respond, or I want to respond, or be like the old Drake where he was out here rappity rapping and whatnot. But I'm saying he's in a different category. We're talking about J. Cole. Cause I was like, he is in the same mindset, at least in this way, of Kendrick. Of I'm rapping, I'm putting out the best lyrics, I'm having all my stuff going with the album, how I'm making it, the beat and all that other stuff where he's over here doing his stuff, more hands on, not really any features and stuff like that. So it's like it's all him. Anyway, Kendrick Lamar drops like that after basically First Person Shooter, which is a dope ass song. And but I like Cole's always been like, like I'm going for that number one spot. While Kendrick is like, I am the number one spot. So, of course, there's a goal. Well, in First Person Shooter, I was like, he sort of illustrates that he's like, hey, you want beef? We could do this. I was like, I was like, you might try to debate, but I know I'm number one. I'm the greatest. And Kendrick's like, nope, you're not. I was like, you need more ammo. You gonna do all this other stuff, blah blah blah. So, Kendrick's the one that clapped. Because I was like, J. Cole is just doing what every other rapper do, and I'm the best. Hold my city down, that type of shit. So, J. Cole coming back with 7 minutes basically was like, okay, now we doing this. Then less than basically 3 or 5 days later, already turned around and like apologize. Now, this is what I'll say. I think that if you're over here talking about, the black community, I think you get out of here with that. I was like, there's never been any hostility between Kendrick and Cole, at least on that end of where Cole was like talking about like bloody, and I'm like, nigga, who said that? Nobody ain't saying that at all. So that's already like this ain't Tupac and Biggie type of. That's not what this is. This is KD and LeBron. That's what this is. That's what this kind of is. And like this is like LeBron and KD on the Warriors. That's sort of what this is. Where it's like you sort of like you drawn up with Drake. Not saying that I guess Drake could be Steph Curry in a way. Well, that's another type of thing of that big three. Anyway, I was like, there's not that. So, but him saying like it was messing with his mind, his head, and he was weighing on him, and he talking about like his boys is the one gassing him up and stuff. And I'm kind of and like and he's like that's why he felt like he had to do it, and he said it made him feel like years ago when he was living the path wrong. I was like, look. That part, I was like, look, in this day and age, you can't tell how somebody's feeling. You can't tell them how they're supposed to feel, how they're supposed to go about it, and all this other stuff. That's how he's feeling. That's how the man's feeling. If it's bothering him, it's bothering him, and all that other stuff. I can't do nothing about it. We just got to respect it. It is what it is. I was like, yeah. I was like, he being the bigger man of sorts, I guess. But that's different to me than like I said, if it was real beef, if this was like some actually thing where it's like it could lead out into the streets. I was like, all this is words on the internet. And even I was like, even if he's seen some slander, first of all, it's the internet. If you don't know what the internet is at this rate of somebody on that level of being smart like Cole, then I don't get then what are you doing? Like, are you just only wanting to hear good stuff? Or are you only want to see? Because I'm like, nobody. I was like, nobody. I don't feel like. I feel like anybody's over here like Cole sucks or Kendrick sucks. you don't listen to them people because they don't make any sense. Cause that's just stupid. That's just dumb. I was like, that's just like over here being like that movie was trash, and it's like why? And then they just give like no reason, or they give a BS reason without any explanation that seems like, oh, it could be decent criticism, and I don't like that. Just like how I was talking about, like, oh, Pimp Butterfly didn't hit me in the same way Good Kid, Mad City, so it was like I didn't think it was this like great ass album. But I'm not saying it wasn't enough. It was, I was like, but it was a good album. Like I could, I'm still within a reasoning. I went over here like, yo, that's trash. Like none of them songs good. Like I'm not doing none of that. But also, and everybody gonna be like, I was like, look, it's rap, it's hip hop, and everybody's like, why do we always gotta? And I'm like, first of all, I was like, there's other ways of competition, and also too, if you don't think that other bands or other artists have had other things in their songs that like references somebody else, then you're out of your mind. You're just, it's like the same thing that you think like, I like how I say with sometimes with rap is that we're blunt about saying stuff compared to other songs where it's just like rap music will come out and say, yo, I'm talking about ass and titties, whereas other songs might be like she tastes like strawberries. I was thinking of that like a Harry Styles Watermelon song. Like I'm like, we know what he's sort of talking about here, but you talking about, I was like, you talking about fruit. I was like, look, pour some sugar on me, baby. Like, like there's plenty of songs that sounds very innocent, but we know what when you listen to it, especially as you get older, you're like, oh my god, rap is just more vulgar. That's all it is. Rap is just more straight up with their stuff. We don't. I was like, as much as innuendos and entendres and all that other stuff they got in there, it's still pretty blunt on what it is. But I'm like, Kendrick, to be honest, in his diss didn't say anything. J.Cole in this one didn't say anything either. Like he even said in his apology, he's like, I'm sort of being halfway gentle, but I did not fully go. And I was like, yeah, we could tell you wasn't. You wasn't trying to fully go there. You were still trying to be like, you were weeding out the water. This was never going to be any Pusha T Drake stuff. This wasn't going to be no Tupac and Biggie stuff. Hell, I was like, this wasn't going to be Nas and Jay-Z. It wasn't going to be, I don't think it was going to be like Ice Cube with no Vaseline. I don't think it was going to be on that type of level. It wasn't going to be on some 50 Cent trying to kill Ja Rule. That's not what this was going to be. This was just going to be like, we going to throw out these barbs going at each other. Now, if Drake says something, that's different. Cause they've been going and taking shots for a while. So I'm like, that's different. They might actually go past that level. But J. Cole and Kendrick was basically like how y'all grew up in AAU, but now we in the NBA in the finals. That's what that is. Are you gonna be over here like, hey bro, take the shot. Hey, just go ahead and make the layup. You know what? You deserve a championship. Just let me shake your hand after we win. That's what I was like. No, that's what I'm saying here. Like, it doesn't have to be this deep. It don't have to be violent. It is just a sparring of words. That's it. It's literal penmanship and thought creation, and picking out the right beats and whatnot. And you want to come out this as a single, you want to end the album, it is going to be one hitter, it is going to be a culmination of projects, whatever. It wasn't going to be that serious. So as a J. Cole fan, it really does sort of just like, I'm not going to say sadden me, I'm not going to say like, like it doesn't destroy my world, nothing like that. It is kind of like, I can talk about how great you are. We can't never put you in a situation where it's full on comparison. It just doesn't work that way mainly because the same way, like I was like, I could say how I was like, because one, whatever we try to use is going to be difficult to try to do with J. Cole. He doesn't have the album success and stuff like that as Drake. He doesn't have like the Grammys and stuff like that, like Kendrick. And why, you know, and I was like, yes, that might, however you might want to mean it to some, but guess what? Then if you want to just talk about it in the community itself, Kendrick still washes out Cole in a lot of those categories as well too. So basically, yes, I could. We could be like, man, I was like, he cool rapping all this other stuff, and it's like, yeah, but he didn't want to go up against Kendrick, which well is automatic big Joker. That's what it is. It's the end all be all. Like if you went at it and then you just let the people decide after a while of like who wins, that's totally different. But that's not what this is. Cause people can respect you getting your ass beat or whatever like that, as long as you just don't get like annihilated off the planet where just like we ain't never heard from him again. Like long as I was like it wouldn't have been that. You go J. Cole could hold his own on beats and lyrics and all that other stuff. Yeah. So basically, look, good for him on what it takes to clear the clouds that he got hanging over his ass. Um, Whatever uplifting stuff. People are like, if you knew who J. Cole was, you should see this coming. I was like, J. Cole, and I was like, yeah, I would get that if he wasn't also being this J. Cole that's like I'm at the top of this league type of Cole either. Also, if he was really taking shots in a way that was like filthy, not that I necessarily would be like having a problem with, but the stuff that he speaks about, I'm like, that sound like you doing filthy stuff. Like you wasn't even saying that you wasn't saying he sucks or nothing like that. To be honest, you sound like somebody who would be giving a music critique where you're like, your first one was great, your third one was great, your second one was just gas, your fourth one was trash. I was like, and I'm like, look, I like I feel like a lot of people had Kendrick at the top. So guess what? This is not changing, and this is improving their stuff. The only thing that's really doing is really just sort of downplaying your fan. Look, I like. Luckily, it's not back in the day because it's back in the day. I think Cole would be done in a way. Like yeah, people still his music would still be played and he might still be around. But I was like, it wouldn't be the same thing nowadays. As basically, your music can be streamed and all, and like you can build up an actual fan base where the fan base don't have to like decide what's gonna happen with their like where they want to buy their CDs and stuff like that anymore. You get to still keep your fan base. But it was about 15 years ago. Nah, I was like, yeah, even because I was like, that was just a wave of MP3s and stuff. So, I mean, it's disappointing. That's what I'll say. It's disappointing because at worst, it would have just been fun and to do of just listening to the back and forth. And I think that's why a lot of people are really disappointed. Not because, not like I said, if Cole would have lost, it's really because nothing ever got started. He tagged you and you like tagged back and he was like, man, I didn't even mean it. I didn't even mean it. That's not me. You know, understand? And I was like, okay. I was like, we don't even get to go through the exercise. So anyway, I was like rambling on this hell long for basically saying you let Nas down. Anyway, he did say it might delete later, and I guess he woke up thinking the same thing. We'll see if anything else happens. And it sucks too, cause I was like, cause I was waiting. Oh, I'm not gonna react to like this because everybody's hyping it up too much. Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing about the 7 minutes because everybody's hyping it up too much. I'm gonna wait for the noise to die down a bit and then give my reaction to both or talk about them. And I ain't even got a chance to because this dude done already apologized. But I was like, but hey, Like you can't uplift and still go at people. But hey, whatever. You pick and choose what you want to do. Until then, maybe not. I don't.